in, hey, I'm too small to be a target, Gary.
Oh yeah, that's a good one, Wes.
That's great.
I mean, Hans.
Yeah, let me just ask the question. Look here, all we do is make axes. All right, that's all I do. I get wood, I get iron, I make an awesome axe. Nobody wants to go after me, Gary, and if they do, they're probably gonna be afraid I'm gonna come after them with my axes, right? So why do I care about cyber?
Yeah, listen, you probably wouldn't care about cyber insurance unless we go through a couple other questions, Hans. Like, you know, number one, if something were to happen here, can you still just make all the axes and bill your customers and collect your money if you didn't have access to anything, any of your systems? Because if you can, you probably wouldn't care about it.
Well, you're right. I mean, we do everything by machine now, like machine-based. But Gary, we've never been attacked before, right? So what's going to make it happen now?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. On your house, do you have an alarm system?
Yes.
Has your house ever been broken into?
No.
No, mine has not been broken into either. But when I leave, I still set that alarm because that one time, right, when someone is going to come. Difference is, hopefully our country is, you know, over time is safer than it was 100 years ago. But your country, which is the cyber country, it's less safe. So I'm saying, you know, all these stories we've been talking about and the articles, right, that I've been sending you, and you've been reading some of our blog posts, seeing about, you know, what's happening. There's more people around now. So again, what you have to do is you have to work under the assumption that your house could get broken into. And that means you might have a security system. It also means you might have a safe in your house where in case someone gets in, your things that are really valuable are even protected further. And that's the way we're going to look at it. I don't know for you that we need to build a moat around your factory, but we do got to put in some basic, you know, protections or not. And I don't know. Based on that, does it seem like saying it's never happened before, so it might never happen?
Yeah. I mean, look, I've never thought about it from like a home analogy, right? Like I care about my home system. I don't want anyone to get in. If they do, I'm going to be really angry. I'm coming at them with axes, right? I don't have a way to come after somebody with axes and swords, if, you know, from the cyber perspective. So I get that. But Gary, look, man, I mean, I'm looking at the cost, the price that you put in front of me. This is high. Like for us, this is really, really high.
Yeah, and I hear that, but you know what? When we were talking the last time we spoke, you were just telling me about a new piece of equipment you put on the shop floor. I think you told me it was over $500,000, right? Like to me, that's a lot of money. Why would you spend $500,000 on another piece of shop floor equipment? You were already making axes before.
Okay, I got it. So you're trying to get at this from that perspective of if that thing goes down, and I can tell you the cost for us, if it goes down, is $15,000 an hour. So yeah, I'm guessing you're going to keep this thing alive and keep it from being hit by some cyber attack?
I'm going to reduce it. I'm telling you, we're going to do these things, and I can't even eliminate it for you. But I'm going to say we're going to take reasonable precaution. Again, we're not going to build a moat, but we are going to put some basic perimeter security on it. Look, let me tell you why we're having this conversation. Because even 6 months ago, I'm going to tell you a couple stories about things and attacks that are happening. I'm going to explain to you that the criminals are not kids in their neighborhood trying to break into your house. They are now, you know, organizations that are focused on this and get it done. And so the situation that we're both in, as me, the person who's here to protect you, and you, right, as the person who needs protecting, it's just changed so much. So just like you, we're not going to shoot an ant with an elephant gun. And if you look at that investment that I asked you to make, you have to look at it relative to your business, to your revenue, to what all your other costs are per month, right? We're still really small costs, you know, per month. But I feel strongly about this, Hans, that I can't let you not do this. If you tell me, like, I don't believe it, we're not going to do it, you and I are going to have a different kind of conversation because I can't live with your risk.
Okay, I see that. That makes a lot of sense. And I see what Sonny's saying. It's kind of following in light of that, right? My revenue is $5 million, raising the prices by 1 penny to get the security I need. Okay, so I'm sort of offsetting all of this, right? So maybe a couple last quick questions then, Gary. So are we saying that I'm not going to get hit? I mean, that's what I'm looking for, right? I don't want to get hit by some ransom incidents. This is going to prevent this from ever happening, right?
No, this will not prevent this from ever happening. And if anyone you deal with or any other providers tell you that, they're either lying to you or they don't understand how security works. The same way I can't tell you as putting a security system on your house that no one's going to figure out how to break that down, that they're not going to have some technology or the level of person that would come in there to be able to do that. What I am saying is for the investment that as where you are and the size business you are, we're making the smart investments. We do this for 40 other customers, right? We spend all of our time researching what's happening, and we're making things that are going to reduce it to what's reasonable, that I feel like we can both sleep at night, and we also spend time, and some of this investment is what we're doing so we know if it does happen that we're ready to respond to that too, and that costs us money.
Honestly, I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate that you're honest enough to tell me it's not going to happen, right? Because intuition tells me it is going to happen. So I get it, right? I'm a business owner. I make a lot of axes. They're really nice. Like I said, very sharp in case anyone wants to buy one. But I get it, right? I'm not perfect either in what I do, and I'm not going to certify that my axes are never going to go dull. I get it. I guess my last question, Gary, is I'm looking at all this stuff that's in here, and I like these Huntress people. It sounds pretty cool. This perch stuff, do I really? Can I just
probably not? That's
probably the one thing out here.
It's probably the one thing you don't need. We can take out the perch.
All right, cool. Yeah.
But everything else, I mean, Huntress, obviously, you have to have. Yeah, but
easy conversation.
You get that. Can I just do this? Can I just do that? And to me, the way that seriously I would answer that would say, listen, Wes, this is the approach. Like we do the research, we live in this every day, and these are the changes that we need to make. Some of them are tools and services like Perch and Huntress. Some of them are just some process things that we're doing, some labor things. We talked about the roles we've carved out. In its totality is what I'm saying we can get you to a reasonable risk level for a reasonable investment, right? So we don't want to go one step, below that, and you're spending all this other stuff, and we leave what would be an unreasonable hole. And we don't want you to have to think about it. Like, this is our job. Andrew, I'll take it one step further. This is a customer conversation, so I can go right at you pretty hard. If you were a prospect, I always get to the part to go further and say, listen, I'm going to make a bold statement. When you say that, what comes next is what's called an inflection point. It's what they listen to. I feel so strongly about this, Wes, and I'm telling you this, whether you do business with me or not, or choose somebody else, if anyone in our scenario, our quote's going to come in at $4,000. If anybody comes in below $4,000, I would eliminate them from your process. Because based on what you told me you needed to do, and based on the risk conversation we have, remember I showed you how we're set up and those roles and what we do, that's what it costs. So your decision isn't really to spend $4,000 or $3,000. Your decision is, can you live with that additional risk that you told me you're already living with and don't want to? That's your two choices. You can't get $4,000 results for $3,000. Here's the process. Here's the math, man. Are you with me?
Yes. At the end of the day,